What is Daintree National Park? Daintree National Park and Rainforest is located in Queensland, Australia, right off the coast of the Coral Sea and the Great Barrier Reef. It is part of the largest tropical rainforest area in Australia and one of the country's most biologically diverse parks. It is internationally valued for its spectacular scenery and diverse range of ecosystems, plants, and animals. Daintree National Park is considered a Category 2 by IUNC, which is considered a national park. Daintree is also internationally recognized as a significant natural area with its listing as Wet Tropics World Heritage Area. The history of Daintree National Park. The Daintree Rainforest is amongst the oldest rainforests on the earth and is the largest continuous area of tropical rainforest remaining in Australia. Daintree National Park is much more than just a beautiful, diverse place. It is also an ancient landscape. The Eastern Cuckoo Yanology Aboriginal people are also known as Bama, meaning Aboriginal, have been living in the harmony with the environment for more than 50,000 years. They have an intimate knowledge of its cycles that have passed down for generations, and they are often known as the rainforest people because of their close affinity with nature and their surrounding scenery. In 1873, George led the first exploration deep into Daintree River Valley, naming the river after Richard Daintree, a geologist and friend. During the late 1870s, many Kukuyanology were removed or moved from Daintree National Park, disrupting the active traditional management of Bubba, which means land, and reducing its health. Cape Tribulation National Park, which was later amalgamated into Daintree National Park. In 1988, Daintree National Park was recognized internationally as a significant nature area with its listing as a Wet Tropics World Heritage Area. Direct threats to Daintree. Daintree National Park faces many challenges. Clearing of the rainforest for development will always be one of Daintree's biggest threats due to its proximity to large cities and industrial areas. This is leading to fragmentation, displacement of wildlife, and susceptibility to invasive plants, all which threaten the biodiversity of Daintree. Another major threat is tourism. Because Daintree National Park is near the Great Barrier Reef, it is one of Australia's most visited national parks, making it extremely susceptible to damage from visitors and tourists. Here is a pie chart showing the causes of deforestation in Daintree. As you can see, the leading cause is industrial projects and residential expansions. Why Kukuyanology removal threatens Daintree. The Kukuyanology are extremely important to Daintree, and they are the ancient owners of the land, making it crucial for them to stay part of the land. Threats to Kukuyanology. Removal of Bama, Bama meaning Aboriginal peoples. For the Eastern Kukuyanology people, many natural features of the landscape have spiritual significance, and removing them or changing the land hurts their views and wishes, causing major issues. This leads to cultural loss and loss of population. Today, there are only around 3,000 Kukuyanology peoples remaining, most which have lost their cultural roots. How does this impact Daintree? Because the Bama are so important to the Bubba, Lack of traditional burning has allowed for open areas to be transformed into rainforests. This destroys the forest diversity and only allows for specific forests to grow. As time goes on, eastern Kukulkanagi's population has gone down dramatically. This impacts how the land is taken care of and creates lack of resources caring for the buba, or land. Indirect and underlying causes. Lack of education plays a significant role in the removal of Bama, and this causes many issues to the direct threats of Daintree National Park. Tourism and economic development are also underlying threats to Daintree. Due to Daintree being right next to the Great Barrier Reef, there are many developments going on in the area, causing major impacts to Daintree National Park. This is a statement from Queensland Park and Wildlife Services, QPWS. The Daintree National Park Management Plan will provide the framework for joint management of the park by the Queensland Parks and Wildlife Services and the Kukulkanaji Bama. It builds on the provisions for cooperative management agreed to in the 2007 Eastern Kukulkanaji Indigenous Land Use Agreements. Joint management will include a greater role for traditional owners in decision-making for the park, as well as increased employment opportunities for Kukulkanaji Bama in the park management. And this is a direct quote from Queensland Park and Wildlife Service 2019 Management Plan. Management tools for Daintree National Park. QPWS has put out their most recent 2019 management plans regarding Daintree National Park. The Nature Conservation Act of 1992 requires a management plan to be set at high-level strategies and priorities for managing each of Queensland's national park. QPWS' primary purpose for conserving Daintree National Park is to protect its diverse ecosystems, the plants and the animals, many which are internationally significant. They are mainly focusing on 3 tools. Field management by going out in the parks and zoning areas of interest and Bama history. They are also monitoring and doing research and managing visitors by providing them with education on the park and the Eastern Kukulkanajis. Management Principles of Daintree National Park. QPWS 2019 Management Plan stated that they would use the following 3 management principles discussed in class: effective community education, immediate decisive intervention, and long-term activity to deal with threats. They will increase the public awareness of traditional Kukulkanaji land management practices to maintain a healthy buba. Also educating the public about how stray cattle impacts fire management. They will also do long-term activity to deal with the threats. QPWS will monitor the condition of nature and natural key values through health check monitoring.